Earth, AD 2492. Chapter 1. AD 2492. Earth, Atlantis Pyramid. Chris Stormberg woke up on the floor, dazed, disorientated, and numb. Slowly, as feeling returned to his extremities, so did the memories. There had been a humming noise, a flash, and then some strange sensation, a kind of vibrating tingling. No, more of a pulsating sensation. He had felt the pulsating sensation deep down in his bones. The memory of it chattered his teeth as he shuddered at his inability to even morph a protection shield against the alien-like onslaught. What was he doing here? Where was here? Why was it dark? Apart, that is, for the faint glow of the crystals on the walls. Or were they panels? Then his centuries of conflict management training kicked in. Groaning, he rolled onto his side and slowly, from a fetal position, managed to get on his hands and knees. Now resting on all four extremities, he fought back a wave of nausea that very nearly overwhelmed him. Deep breaths. 1, 2, 3. Okay, get up. Get on with it. Slowly, he got to his feet, banging his elbow on what felt like a chair or table. Feeling his way around, he made his way towards one of the glowing panels. Then he remembered his morph suit. Lights. The suit morphed a few projectile-shaped rods out of his shoulder blades, which curved upwards, and then, when horizontally opposed to each other, blazed brightly, lighting up the vast open space in which he had just awoken. 10 meters in front of him was a large, rectangular, block-shaped console. On the console, a large red button flashed angrily. So, they're here. He slapped his hand down hard onto the flashing button. Everything lit up. Bright, pulsating waves of energy radiated throughout the room. He started to experience a similar excruciating pain as the vibrations started all over again. Then, before he could command his suit to shield him from the bone-shattering sonic attack, darkness enveloped him, and he collapsed to the floor, twitching and writhing in agony. First Contact, Chapter 2. 40,000 BC. This is the fourth planet from this solar system's sun. We must find something this time, thought Jorge. Soon this desolate solar system will be mapped and documented, just like all the others. No sentient life forms found so far, but... Wait, look at the readout, he exclaimed, reading the ship's electronic crystal display on his console. Wow! What a wealth of resources for us to mine! Looks like we finally hit the mother lode, Jorge said to his right-hand man, number 2 in command, Sergio. Jorge and Sergio had been chartered by the galactic mining house, UN Mine, to survey the planetary solar systems for new mining resources and any other form of exploitable wealth. The drilling platform in the cargo hold had been bought and paid for by UN Mine, but the Transport Solar Planetary Skimmer, or SPS as they called it, was owned by him and Sergio, a 50-50 split. Everything split straight down the middle so there could be no petty squabbling over any of the profits from what they discovered. Jorge ordered the onboard computer to survey the planet below, just as he had done on countless other unremarkable planets in so many other unremarkable solar systems. Not expecting much, the report appeared on the screen in front of him. The planet's atmospheric composition report appeared on the screen. Oxygen level, 18%. Nitrogen level, 70%. Hydrogen level, 0.05%. Helium level, 0.05%. Sulfur level, 0.05%. Chlorine level, 0.05%. Argon level, 3%. CO2 level, 2%. Methane level, 5%. Other, 1.8%. Average daylight temperature, 40 degrees Celsius. Average nighttime temperature, -5 degrees Celsius. Gravity, 91% of SPS current gravity. Capability of human survival unaided, 25%. Morph suits required? Yes. Well, that cuts out having a picnic. Hey, Sergio, do we need a more detailed atmospheric analysis? Sergio raised his head from the report on his screen. No, but I definitely don't think we'll be able to have a picnic either. But break out the shovels. I haven't seen levels of iron ore and precious metals as high as this anywhere else in the last 5 solar systems that we've surveyed. Guess our new morph suits will cover the atmospheric issues, though, said Jorge. Planetary gravity looks good. The suits will adjust our densities to compensate. Sergio continued. Looks like there are pockets of methane gas being vented from deep inside the planet's surface. It must be coming from those tunnels that we can see on the surface. Suggest we head down and take a closer look, said Sergio, returning his gaze to the computer screen. According to the surface scanners, there doesn't appear to be any life forms on this planet, but who knows, they have been wrong before, Sergio stated, eyes fixed on the screen in front of him. No kidding, Serge. Remember the last solar system we surveyed? The scanners picked up sentient life. It turned out to be intelligent algae. Maybe self-aware 1,000,000 years from now, but really? Maybe we should adjust the setting on those damn things. Exclude anything that hasn't invented the wheel yet, exclaimed Jorge. Most of the surface appears to be sand and desert. Not much vegetation or waters being detected, continued Sergio, unperturbed by Jorge's comments. Maybe the surest sign of intelligent life down there is that it's hiding from us, laughed Jorge. These new suits were incredible. They were semi-transparent with what appeared to be faint blue and red arteries running through the suit. The wearer would quite literally walk naked into the suit, and it would mold with the occupant's skin, giving a faint bluish tinge to the wearer. This suit had a direct link to the occupant's cortex, giving them unparalleled connectivity to any external stimulus or any actions the wearer wished the suit to perform. In order to make one heavier, the suit would simply absorb the required gas or liquid combination and compress as necessary, forming, for instance, water sacs. These were created by the suit as needed and located in various positions around the body. The absorbed nutrients would be used to suit the wearer's needs as dictated to it by the external environment they were in. These sacs of water could even be used to hydrate the occupant by being directly absorbed into the bloodstream via microscopic filaments that the morph suit inserted into the occupant. The same would occur for any nutritional requirements the occupant desired or needed. Should the occupant require nutrition, all the wearer needed to do was touch the nutritious object. This would be absorbed by the suit, and if not already broken down into a suitable, absorbable molecular size, would be stored in a similar sac and broken down later. When it came to any atmospheric requirements, the environment was filtered through the suit's facial membrane so that only the right combination of gases entered the occupant's lungs. Any toxic elements were automatically filtered out. It could even extract liquids and gases stored in the bloodstream to ensure the occupant did not asphyxiate should they be in an environment without extractable breathing materials. This was unfortunately limited by what could be extracted from the wearer before becoming detrimental to the occupant's health. If the wearer was required to lift any heavy object or exert themselves in any way, the suit could change its structure with carbon-like cellulose nanotube reinforcement in microseconds. The morph suit would then use the now modified hydraulic tubes as energy cells. The wearer would become as strong as any hydraulically articulated machine. As far as safety and protection was concerned, all the wearer had to do was project the thought, "shield," and instantaneously a protective barrier would form where the perceived threat would strike. The capabilities of the suit's shape-changing ability were still undergoing testing, but potentially anything the wearer can imagine, the suit can conjure. There were limits, of course, to what shapes could be achieved, but that would surely change in future versions of the suit. Advancement and new technology were happening all the time. With their 5th edition suits issued just weeks ago, the power source, always a downfall, had been replaced with 2 micro non-radioactive fusion-driven power cells. One would be used to power the suit, whilst the run-down power unit recharged itself using the kinetic motion technology available at the time. Each suit required this technology to be continually upgraded and modified. This was the weak point in this marvel of technical engineering. The new suits take advantage of the wearer's heat signature and thermally activated motion sensors along the lines embedded in the suit. Every motion the wearer performs recharges the suit's power supply via the kinetic energy created. When it came to modifying the wearer's breathable gases in hostile environments, there had been, how does one put it, certain failings of the suit that had been detrimental to the morph suit's occupant. Unfortunately, the previous versions of the suit had, under certain circumstances, managed to drain all the user's bodily fluids. When the malfunctioned suits were recovered, only an emaciated, dehydrated husk of the once-living occupant remained. The new suits, though, were guaranteed with an automated failsafe. In the unlikely event that a failure occurred, the corporation which had bought the suit could get a full refund. Very comforting to the unfortunate, emaciated occupant. Exiting the lander, now safely encapsulated in their morph suits, both Jorge and Sergio were standing close to one of the tunnel entrances they had discovered from orbit. The tunnels were about 2 meters in diameter and seemed to be lined with a dark, rubber-like substance. Every 3 meters or so, a ridge ringed the tunnel, something like the esophagus of any creature that was required to ingest its food. "Looks like we're going down into the belly of a beast," joked Jorge. "Still no life signs showing on my heads-up display. Whatever made these tunnels is long gone now," projected Sergio to Jorge's morph suit. "Still, it's really creepy," responded Jorge with the mind link. "Come on, let's get on with it. Down we go." With that, the two men walked into the tunnel. After 20 minutes, the tunnel came to a huge, open, cavernous space. It, too, seemed to be lined with the same rubbery substance. "Lights," voiced Jorge, still getting used to the mental link with his suit. Both suits lit up the cavern. It must have been 800 meters in diameter. Hanging from the ceiling was a round ball, its surface also coated with the same rubbery substance. As they were looking at the sphere, their lights reflected off a black tip forming on the bottom of the ball. When they focused the suit's light on the base of the sphere, the darkness seemed to change color. It went from obsidian black to a lighter shade of black, then faded to gray. This change of color started to spread from the tip and then around the entire sphere. Within minutes, the sphere had started to become transparent. The two men watched in wonder as the sphere changed into a bulging round sac, which changed shape intermittently. Inside the sac, there was a slight stabbing movement, which increased in frequency until the sac throbbed and pulsated. Looking on with fascination, Jorge and Sergio were transfixed beneath the once inert sphere. "Are you getting this? Is it a new organic life form? The first we've encountered in 10 solar systems. My sensors are not showing that it's a carbon-based life form, though. It's more silicon-based, and the methane levels are increasing rapidly," reported Jorge. "Damn. There goes our monopoly on the mining rights," cursed Sergio. "Let's hope they aren't greedy," Jorge commented, the excitement visible in his wild gestures. "Jorge, I'm getting a bad feeling about this. I'm going to head back up the tunnel. If they aren't friendly, at least I'll have a head start. I mean, it looks like they've been in hibernation for quite some time, and I'm sure they must be hungry," said Sergio, concern evident in his voice. "Come on, Sergio, they're not even carbon-based. We probably wouldn't even be on their menu. This could be an historic first contact. Who knows, I'll probably get a statue in some city that we create on this desert planet. I mean, wow, just think of the possibilities." Then, the sac burst. 10 half-a-meter-long insectoid-like alien creatures spilled out and down onto the waiting Jorge. "Shield!" screamed Jorge. The suit reacted immediately as the 6-legged creatures swarmed over him, their intentions clear. Here was an energy source. "Welcome! Welcome! We are the Xhoseti!" a voice screeched inside his head. The insect-like creatures started to bite and claw at Jorge, hungry for his flesh. The suit was resistant to the scraping and biting of these insectoid jaws. The morph suit shielding held firm. Jorge tried to stand, but his legs were swept from under him. Crashing to the ground, and in a panic, Jorge swung his arm toward his attackers, a blade now extended from the tip of his hand. The suit had projected Jorge's weapon of choice for him to defend himself, acting almost precognitively. The morph blade he had summoned glanced harmlessly off the attacker's chitin-like armored exoskeleton as he flailed around wildly. Having failed to break into the suit, the swarming aliens released an acid-based compound from a gland under their mandibles and engulfed Jorge with it. At first, the suit shrugged off the new chemical attacks, but this was a new, untested version of the morph suit, and part of their assignment was to test the suit to determine its limitations. The suit, having determined that more resources were required to overcome the increase in toxic gases and fluid on Jorge's face covering, started to extract the required nutrients from his body. Jorge felt himself becoming weaker as the suit drained his body of the required fluids to enable him to inhale. Then the failsafe kicked in. The suit shut down all external defenses, determining that breathable air was of more importance than external shielding. It then redirected all available resources to that task.